Okay, here we go with the questions. Time to steal those real trade secrets. And our first questions, Nick says, I would like to consider putting in a reed bed to filter waste. Okay, does anybody want to answer this question? Michael, that's one for you.
That question.
Hi Nick, the reed bed can be used to clean up, say, grey water from your shower or your toilet or anything like that. But I guess the design, the size and the function of the reed bed depends on what you want to use the water for. So my suggestion is be really clear about what you want to use it for. If you want to use it in the garden, then a reed bed is a really cheap way of doing it.
What is it?
Oh, what is it? Gosh. A reed bed is a hole in the ground with some reeds that like to be permanently wet, and their real strength is they take the toxins, the soaps and the nasties out of the shower water, and they clean it up. God bless them. They're used to being at the bottom of the catchment. You'd find them in rivers. So it's basically bringing a little mini river or swamp into your house and getting it to do the cleaning work in your backyard.
Okay. We just wanted to go back to the recycling or the sewage question that we were talking about, because the Americans, you know, have done it. How can we do what the US has done with sewage recycling?
How long have you got?
Minute?
The real problem in Australia is we have such a small market that there hasn't been a lot of R&D, and our systems are still at the beginning stage, but there's some good simple products like the septic tank that's been around for a couple of hundred years, it seems like to me, is a good product. And if you don't put much water in it, a septic can cost you, say, $1,500 and do a really good job.
Okay. Now, not all customers can afford to be sustainable at such a high end. So what are some of the cost-effective things that they can do, Darryn? Sharon?
If people are renovating, I think at a really cost-effective end is focus on insulating well. So if you're rebuilding any component of your house, insulate it really well. Use the fridge analogy where you're trying to create a lovely sealed environment to keep heat out and warm in or cool in as the seasons apply. And efficiency in appliances and products, that's the key. Like, really look for the most efficient products you can find.
And another question, are any of you up to date on the government initiatives to support people going green?
Yeah, we're reasonably up to date. Yeah, there's government initiatives offering the rebates and the like for predominantly rainwater tanks, solar hot water, or you know, energy efficient hot water systems, and there's some new renewable energy certificate system that's coming through for people who want to put photovoltaic power on their roof. So there's definitely initiatives, both at a state and federal, and in some cases, such as rainwater tanks, there's the state and the federal government throwing money at you to put them in.
I guess it's a matter of doing your own research, because so many new things come out all the time. Michael, we've got another question for you. Saying, did you say that you use rainwater off your roof for drinking?
Yes, in the dirty inner city suburb of Chippendale, right beside the centre of the city, I use rainwater for drinking, cooking, washing, showers and baths. I got my kids to drink it, and you know, it's not a good look if you lose a kid along the way. And I have to confess that before I rejoined the human race, I used to be a lawyer, so I'm aware of things like negligence and stuff like that. So it wasn't a lightly made decision, but we tested the water for 18 months every fortnight, and my water is cleaner than mains water, so I'm going to sell it.
Really?
No, I'm just teasing.
I was going to say, I think you'll have a few customers lining up. Now, another question for, how does natural paint brush up, forgive the pun, listeners.
It's wonderful, good pun.
Cost-wise versus other paint?
Well, you're really just looking at different levels of low VOC or zero VOC. So there's two different sort of points there. If you're going for totally no chemicals, as in no synthetics, natural, fully natural, then you're looking at sort of 20 to 30% on some products. You can get some that are sort of like 5 to 10% if you've got something that's a low VOC product.
You probably would pay no more for good natural paints than you would for a premium brand of, you know, let's say Dulux paint, for example. You know, you can always go and buy really cheap paint from the really cheap paint person.
So do VOC-less paints have no odour at all, Sharon?
Yes.
None at all?
No odour.
Some of them, but some of them actually add an odour to them because people are so accustomed to paint smelling. So some of them actually add a citrus smell, let's say. So you paint your walls and it smells like lemon.
So you know you're
essential
painting.
oil.
Yeah, it's essential oil that's added to the paint. But generally speaking, in their raw state, they smell like nothing.
Okay.
And the same for the old enamel type paint that used to stink you to death.
Okay, I've got a question from Builder X. He says, if my clients are giving me $1,000 per house to spend on sustainability, what should I direct them to? $1,000 per house.
VOC paint.
Really?
That's it.
That's the first thing?
That's the
Low
no-brainer.
VSOP, efficient lights and water fixtures. Spend, you get big bang for your bucks there.
Okay. Michael, what do you think?
$1,000.
Yes.
Tough question.
Which is probably your total renovation back in 1996.
Well, I would spend it on a really, really efficient fridge. Fridge can take 50 to 60% of the energy in a house. If you get a fridge that is really efficient, it'll probably save you 2 to 4 tonnes of greenhouse gases a year.
Really? So look at the fridge.
Yeah.
What about other appliances in the home? Do you use a dryer? I was thinking about you the other day in all that rain. I was just thinking, I wonder if Michael has a dryer at his house.
I've got a washing machine that goes 1,200 revs a minute, so it really gives them a good spin. And no, I don't have a dryer, but I've got a terrace and it's like a chimney, so I can hang them up in the different bits of the house, and the chimney of the terrace has all these cooling drafts or drying drafts.
Now, we've got a question from somebody who's been following your blog on
yes.
the project that you're doing. Whereabouts is that house?
The house is in Collaroy,
In Collaroy.
Sydney.
Yeah, so just tell us a little bit about it.
This is a sustainable house we're building at Collaroy, which, much like Michael's house, the intention is the house is self-sufficient for water. So the people in that house will drink the water, they'll shower with it. The house has a grey water recycling system that will recycle the water for reuse in washing machines and toilets. Unlike Michael, though, the only thing that we'll leave side is black water, because councils are a pain in the arse and they're way too difficult to deal
Where's
with.
my 7-second delay? No.
Sorry.
That's all right.
And the house, it's got energy efficient glass. It's been designed up from the ground up to be a very sustainable house, and in my opinion, it's coming out to be a very economical, sustainable house, considering the features that the house has.
Oh, we can follow it on your blog,
Yes,
which
you
people can
certainly
get
can.
through your website. One final question for the panel, a quick one. Does the panel think that Australia is a reasonable place to be sustainable versus European countries? Michael?
Yes, really sustainable. Yep. It's a great country.
When you say reasonable place, as in...
A reasonable place as far as...
we should be doing it here, or that we're
Easier.
better than...
Easier? Yeah.
Yes and no. I think